are going to start from a seated position on the mat today, so whatever that looks like for you. Maybe that means that you're kneeling, or maybe you're sitting crisscross like I am. Maybe your legs are extended out, whatever feels the best for your low back, your spine. And I want you to consciously start thinking about engaging the core as if you're creating length in the spine, so as if you're separating each vertebrae one by one as you stack up really nice and really tall. You're going to root down through the sit bones, which are the bones beneath the flesh of the bottom, and they ground you to the ground. So press into those as you lengthen up through the spine, all the way up through the crown of the head, and allow the shoulders to draw down, back, and away from the ears. Gently set the ears over the shoulders. So just pull the earlobes back till they rest in line with your shoulders. And maybe you just soften your eyes. If this is too much stress, if your core isn't strong right now due to any reason, feel free to press back up against a wall. Let that support your spine, but you want to stay upright and tall, pressing the shoulders back, pressing the back of the head into the wall. If there's no wall behind you, just imagine there's a wall behind you, and you're trying to press into that wall as you lengthen up nice and tall. So softening the eyes. And then beginning to just notice the body. So just taking a scan from your head to your toe. Is there any places in the body that just need a little extra care, need a little extra kindness today? There's nothing that you have to do in this class. It's only get-tos, so you go where your body tells you to go. And I want you to honor the places that just need a little extra care, need a little extra rest. Sometimes we're coming into this practice and we haven't practiced in a really long time, and you've got to be gracious to your body. Listen as your body guides you. Notice what your body's telling you. Allowing your awareness to come in and go a little bit deeper. So checking in with your head space. Checking in with your thoughts. Noticing this afternoon, where has your mind been ruminating throughout the majority of the day? On this Good Friday, are you feeling drawn into the awareness and the remembrance of what this represents to us as Christians? Or is your mind still flooded with fears and doubts and insecurities, consumed with the current situation and season? And I want you to notice the thoughts, and if you can, just agree with me that at least for the time we're spending together today, that you will capture those thoughts, and that you will set them off of your mat and at the feet of Jesus. That there, He is with you, He is near you, He can manage your thoughts far better than you ever will be able to. He knows what you need more than you know what you need. And He's actually willing to wrestle those thoughts in a way that is beneficial for your soul. So as we move and as we breathe, if the thoughts come back in, if they try to steal you away, would you just agree, capture the thought, notice it, and hand it back over to Jesus. Let Him fight your battles for at least this next hour. And then allow your awareness to come in one level deeper. Check in with your soul space. So if you can, if you just picture the presence of God near you, with you, here on your mat, in the room. And then I want you to notice what happens inside of you when you picture that presence, when you imagine God's presence near to you. What does it feel like within your soul? And here you get to be honest. There's no right or wrong answer. Maybe you're really struggling right now. Maybe you're kind of looking at everything that's going on, and you feel the loss, and you feel the death of even what this day represents, and you're overwhelmed by it. You don't have to clean that up. Come into this moment and be honest with yourself about what you're feeling when you get near to Him, because He already knows. And He can press past those things for us once we name them and once we put them out on the table. So let us be vulnerable. Let us be honest. Let us take a deep breath all together. Inhale through the nose for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Pause for 2, for 1. Part your lips and let it all go. And try that once more, taking a deep inhale for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Pausing at the top for 2, for 1. Open the lips, let it all go. May you just sit for a moment, eyes closed, body noticed, mind observed, soul awake. On this Good Friday, the verses that I want to draw attention to are some that this morning when my husband and I did our Good Friday practice and meditation and prayer, just struck me because I never noticed it before, and I think it's profound. It is in John chapter 19, and it's verse 41, and it says, "Now in the place where he was crucified, there was a garden. And in the garden, a new tomb in which no one had yet been laid." And then you forward a little bit more and you get into chapter 20, and it's when Mary is now back at the grave. This is the Sunday. "And Jesus said to her, 'Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you seeking?' And it says, 'Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, Sir, if you have crucified him away, or if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away.'" I found this so interesting because it's a garden reference. And we know the story of the initial garden. We know the place that everything started for us as believers, where we strayed away from God. But what I didn't realize is that on Golgotha, on this skull mountain where Jesus is crucified, he is actually buried in a garden. And I love this idea because previously what had been forecasted, what Jesus had told his disciples in chapter 12 of John, verse 24, it says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, unless a grain of wheat falls into the earth and dies, it remains alone. But if it dies, it bears much fruit." You know, it's so interesting in all of this because the beauty of this day, of Good Friday, is that we have the benefit of knowing how the story ends. You see, the disciples were standing in front of something, and this was a death. This was the death of a dream, of a hope for them. They thought he was the Messiah, and then he's dead, and they do not understand, even though Jesus has told them over and over again, "Trust me, this is what must happen, this is what I must do." It's as if they just can't grasp onto it. And it's beautiful because they go home and they prepare spices and they rest on the Sabbath, and then they go back to the tomb, and of course at this point he's risen, but they don't know this. We have this benefit of understanding that Jesus endured all of this suffering for us. We have the benefit of knowing that he believed and he still believes that we are worth it. Let that sink in for a moment. That right now in the midst of all of this stuff, that God has already made a way. He has already prepared a way. And it's not going to make sense to most of us. But that's beautiful. And what I don't want us to miss today, and I don't want us to miss in this season, is that we have the opportunity to stand in this garden where Jesus is buried, this garden which seems like death only. And we can lay down for ourselves what's dead. That the new thing, whatever it may be, after all of this passes, would resurrect. That we must lay down what's dead here. So what I want for us today as we move and as we breathe and as we practice is us to move into that. Jesus, please reveal to me that I may see and feel and experience what you felt this day, what your disciples felt on this day, this loss, this grief, but may I lay down willingly what is dead in my life, that what is new may be resurrected. I don't want it anymore, Father, if it is not of you. Because truly, right, if it doesn't fall to the ground and die, it doesn't produce anything. So check your heart. Grieve with Jesus here. Grieve with the disciples here. Know that this moment is so significant, but that the invitation every year is for us also to stand at the grave. For us also to stand and lay down what is dead, that whatever is new may be resurrected. So as we move and as we breathe, let's find that space. Let's invite him. If you don't know what's dead in your life, what needs to be laid down, what needs to be different, what needs to be let go of, what needs to be changed, you have a space right here and right now. You have the author of the universe who is willing to reveal this to you and even willing to help pry your hands off of it if need be. Because we have a God of resurrection. But let us stay, let us mourn what is dead. Let us be here for this moment. Let us pause and let us lay it down, knowing that God wants to do something new in every single one of us today. On the next inhale, slowly begin to move the body. Hands come up overhead, palms meet, and then on the exhale, surrender and release it back down. So let your breath move you. Notice what that feels like. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, surrender down. The last time. Inhale, reach up. Hands are high. Palms come together. Take them down past the head and into the heart. Go ahead and let your chin fall to your chest. Let the back of the neck stretch. Inhale, gaze goes forward. On the exhale, just twist your head over to the right. On the exhale, back to the center. Inhale, twist left. Exhale, center. This time, let your chin come down to your chest. And we're going to roll the chin across the collarbone. So roll it across the chest and take it over to the right shoulder. And then roll it across the chest and take it over to the left shoulder. So it stretches a different portion of the neck, if you notice, across the chest to the right. Across the chest and to the left. Good, and then find that neutral gaze is forward. Good, we're gonna go ahead and take our legs and bring them together, bend the knees and place the feet on the floor. So wherever you're at, we're basically gonna be seated with those knees bent right out in front of us. Hands are gonna come behind the thighs, and with a gentle roll, just slowly lower yourself all the way down onto the mat. Head rests on the floor. Good, we're gonna start to heat up our core here because we're gonna be moving a little bit more. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I'm sure there's a lot of anxieties and a lot of things inside of us that actually need to be worked out before we can even stand appropriately at the grave and grieve. Because we're distracted right now. So let's move the distractions out of our bodies, out of our minds, that we would appropriately come in awe and wonder, in rest, in grief, and lay down what is dead. So on that next inhale, slowly bring those knees into the chest. Arms are going to wrap around. Take a hug. Maybe peel the forehead up. Draw the belly button back towards the spine. And just take a little rock from side to side. If this feels too unstable, then lower the head, neck, and shoulders and just rock side from side. You're going to massage the spine here, so you should feel that on the floor. Good. So activating our core here. There's variations. I want you to listen to your body. So we're going to start by hovering the knees up over the hip hinges. So your hips are here and your knees shoot directly out of them. The shins are parallel to the sky. If this creates any pressure for your lower back, what I want you to do is just let the toes touch down to the ground. Draw the belly in. So as you're hovering, you should feel all these lower abdominals engage and hold on to your spine. And then try to press the back of the spine down into the ground. So almost like you're pushing into the floor, you should feel this. The hands are going to press into the thighs. Good. Pushing the hands into the thighs. On the inhale, we're going to extend the right leg and the right arm. So hear me. If this is all you have today, do that. If you can extend it all the way out, do that. But do not lose the connection of the low back to the ground.
So listen to your body. Here we go. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, pull it back in. Keep the knees over the hips. Inhale, left side. Exhale, back in. Inhale, right side. Exhale, back in. Inhale, left. Again, you don't have to go all the way down. Go where you can. Keep the spine engaged. Inhale, right. And back up on the exhale. Inhale, left. And back up. If it helps, peel the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. That helps push the spine down. Back in. And left. Back in. Maybe you're shaking. I'm shaking. Right? Back in. And left. Back in. Now try to push into the knees and the knees into the hands. Right. One last time. Back in. And left. Back in. Good. Release. That should have at least created a little bit of work in your body. If it didn't, let me know. I'll come to your house and teach you how to do it. Just kidding. Well, because we're social distancing. Keep breathing. Stay there. Good. On that next inhale, just go ahead and extend those feet up to the sky. Flex the feet. Again, this presses the low back into the ground. Maybe you have a slight bend in your knees because the backs of the legs are tight. That's okay. Press the back of the head firm down in the ground. Hands are at the side. Good. We're just going to change things up a teeny tiny bit. Hear me. If your leg only wants to move to here before you feel like the pressure in the low back lifts, then just go here. If you have a little more, give a little more. It's up to you. So here we go. Inhale, lower the right down towards the ground. Wherever it stops on the exhale. Bring it back in. Again, keep the hips pressing down into the ground. Left. And back up on the exhale. Right. And back up. And left. And back up. Two more each side. You keep going. Your breath, your movement. Maybe you close your eyes. Maybe you start to think about that intention once more. Maybe you start to go, Lord, what is it? What is dead in my life, in my story, that I need to lay down? That as I lay it down, that, Lord, you would let it die because you want to resurrect something new. And when you're finished with the last one, slowly draw the knees into the chest, arms wrap around. Good. We're just going to begin to rock forwards and backwards. So create some momentum. Maybe it takes you 3 rocks. Maybe it takes you 4 rocks. Maybe it takes you 5 rocks. Whatever it takes. Once you're up, find a nice seated posture. So we're back to where we started. Maybe a little more open. Maybe a little stronger. Maybe a little more engaged. Maybe a little more ready to hold the spine long. Keep ourselves upright. Maybe a little more aware that in this season when God is actually viscerally allowing us to feel what death feels like, what loss feels like, what uncertainty feels like, that we would stand there and that something in us would open up and we would actually offer everything that God is asking us to lay down to die, that we wouldn't hold anything back. On that next inhale, reach those hands all the way up and away from you. On the exhale, go ahead and bring them all the way down. You're going to extend your right leg out and away from you. So the left foot is going to be on the inside of the thigh. Right leg is extended out. Good. We're going to go ahead and find some movement here. So you're going to reach your right fingertips out towards your right toe. Reach your left hand up and over. It can be shallow, it can be deep, whatever your body has. On the exhale, shift that left hand all the way back behind you, plant it on the ground. Use your abdomen, use your belly, and lift your hips up. Right hand reaches up or back. Good. Exhale, take it back down, reach it back over. And inhale, sweep and lift it up. One more time, same thing. Again. Let's do that 2 more times with breath. All the way up and back and lift. And down. And reach. And last time, all the way back. This time we're going to hold it here. So find the place where your hips are pressing forward. Your heart is open. Maybe your right hand comes behind your head and supports you here.
Maybe it reaches back behind you. Maybe you cactus the arm and open up your heart a little bit more. Whatever feels the best to you. Breathe for 3, for 2, for 1. Set the hips down. Reach. Go ahead and take the left hand, rotate the torso, and melt over the right thigh. So just breathe here. That on this day when Jesus died, nobody knew that we would look back and call it Good Friday. Maybe that alone can help us find hope in the midst of what we're in right now. Right now we can't see the good, we don't understand, but we trust. On that next inhale, round and peel up. Go ahead and switch legs. Left leg extends out, right leg bends. The inside of the right foot is on the right thigh. Again, we're gonna reach, and then we're gonna come back into that rock star. So left hand reaches down, right hand reaches up and over. And then on the inhale, sweep the right back, plant the right palm, lift the hips up. And exhale, take it down. Let your core move you. So we warm that core so that it actually can support you in the midst of this, right? You have to be prepared in the body, in the mind, in the soul, sometimes to receive whatever it is that is new, that is coming. So here we go. Take it again. Engage your belly. Let your abdominals lift you. Exhale, take it down. You have 2 more of those. Your breath, your movement. Good. Last one. When we get here, go ahead and hold it here. So again, hips are forward, heart is lifted. Maybe the left hand bends and comes behind the head. Maybe it extends up over the head. Maybe you cactus the arm because that feels good. We're here for 3, for 2, for 1. Set it down. Cartwheel the hands over. This time you can rotate the torso and reach towards that left foot. So breathe and melt in. Listen, if you're here, it's enough. Okay, it's not a contest, it's not a comparison. The things that we all have to lay down are going to vary in so many ways. But it's not about looking to the left or looking to the right. You don't get to point at your neighbor right now and decide what they need to die to and what they need to lay down. The invitation of Christ is for you. He did it for you. And today we would stand and we would say, Lord, what do I need to die to? What do I need to lay down? What do I need to mourn? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to let die that the new would resurrect? On the next inhale, come on up. Good. We're going to go ahead and pull those knees in. So we're going to do that rock and roll again, but we're going to come into a forward fold. Hear me out. If your body is like, we're not rocking up onto our feet, no way, no how, guess what? That's perfectly okay. I want you to find your way to your feet however you know how. For the rest of you guys, if you want to rock and roll, rock and roll. If you need to roll over, press yourself up, use a chair, use a wall, I don't mind. If you're going to rock, plant the feet, part the knees, lift the hips, and roll forward. Head hangs. Soften the knees. They don't need to be locked all the way back here. Soften them a little bit. Let the head hang. Let the heart hang. Maybe grab hold of the elbows and sway from side to side. Good. Breathe. Good. On the next inhale, lengthen the spine. Back is flat. Shoulders are back. So you're long in the spine. Breathing. Good. On the exhale, find that forward fold. And then slowly, as you're ready, round and peel one vertebra at a time, all the way up. Hands go high. Oh, palms come together past the head and to the heart. Good. We're going to start moving. We're going to start flowing. We're going to start getting all these things out of us. So even if you're just standing here for a moment, if you can name the anxieties that need to die today, if you can name the fears that need to die today, if you can name the sin that needs to die today in your life, let's work this out of our body in the name of Jesus. May his grace come once more to free you, because that's what he does and what he did on this day. And may you receive it. We're gonna go ahead and begin to flow. Here we go. Inhale, reach the hands all the way up, look up. Exhale, hinge, flat back, swan dive. All the way down, head hangs. Inhale, come halfway, heart is open, back is flat. Hear me, on the exhale, you're gonna sit the hips back like you're sitting into a chair. So what you wanna do, make sure your feet are semi-close together, as close together as you are able to do. Hug the knees together, sit the hips back, and don't tilt the tailbone back, but tuck it under. Good. Get that to where you're sitting in a chair, maybe you're sitting in a bar stool. That's okay. Sorry, I paused for a second, I think it's back. Okay. So like you're sitting in a chair. I know some of you are like, wait, you made me hold that. Go ahead, hands come up maybe. Heart is open. Breathe. For 3. For 2. For 1. Stand up, and as you stand up, root down through the right foot. Bring the left knee with you. Good. On the exhale, you're gonna sit back into the right, bend the right knee, cross the left leg over. So you're just crossing the legs, sitting back. It's legs of eagle pose. Exhale, stand back up, bring the knee with you. On the exhale, we're gonna hinge and take the left foot back. So listen, you're right here, if this is what you have today, maybe you're right here, if this is what you have today. If you have a little more, maybe you're hinged at the hip. You're rooting down through the outer edge of that right foot, you're firing through the left, you're breathing. Good. Inhale, bring that left knee back up with you. We're going to go back through that one more time. So set the left foot down. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hinge, flat back. Swan dive it down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Sit back, imaginary chair. Hands can go up. Draw the belly in. Sit the hips back. Good. As you stand up, left knee comes with you. Same leg here. On the exhale, go ahead and sit back into the right and just cross the left over. Good. Inhale, stand it up, left knee comes in. On the exhale, just shift it back. Maybe it goes all the way back. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you have to bend the right knee in order to lengthen it back. That's okay. Good, breathe. Woo. Fall over if you need to. Inhale, come up, left knee comes in. Exhale, take it down. Good, we're gonna move through full sun salutation, and then we'll come back up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge, flat back, swan back down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold, hands come down to the ground. You're gonna step back with the right foot, follow it back with the left foot. Find your plank, draw your belly in. Elbows hug the ribs, maybe your knees are down. That's perfectly okay. Lower all the way to the belly. Flatten the feet. Roll the shoulders back. Make a W with the arms. Lift the heart. Push into the tops of the feet. Breathe for 3. For 2. For 1. Hands come down. Knees stay down. Set the hips back to the heels. Take a breath. Maybe you're winded after that. That's okay. I want you to invite the idea that this movement in our body, this activity, is clearing the debris out of the way. It is clearing our distractions out of the way. That our hearts would be hollowed. And the mystery of what Christ has done. And we would stand in front of this moment, not taking it for granted, but recognizing the invitation. Good, we're going to move through that whole thing, other side, same thing. So here we go. Reach the fingertips out and away from you. Lift the hips up off of the heels. Turn the toes under. We're going into down dog. We haven't done it this way yet. So send the hips up to the sky. Draw the shoulders back and away from the ears. Knees can be bent here. What you want is a straight line from the crown of the head to the hips. So if the knees need to bend to create that, then create that. If you can straighten them, straighten them. Draw the belly up and in. Breathe. Good, looking up between the hands. Just take little steps. Maybe they're tiptoes, maybe they're full walks, but you're gonna find your way all the way to the top of the mat in a nice forward fold. Hanging here. Inhale, come halfway. Heart is open, back is flat, so you look like a tabletop on the back. Knees are slightly bent. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, round. Peel one vertebrae at a time, all the way up, hands up, palms together, past the head to the heart. And again, find your intention. Let us not get too far away. Just take this next round and the same thing. We're going to be working through those things that we need to let go of, that we need to lay down, that we need to let die. So here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, swan dive down, hinge in the back, flat back, swan dive. Good, inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit back, imaginary chair. Here you are, draw the belly in, squeeze the inner thighs, take a breath. You're not gonna be here forever. Maybe you need to say that over yourself one more time. You're not gonna be here forever. Jesus did not stay in the tomb, we know that. Nothing stays the same, it moves, it shifts. Because God is faithful that anything we lay down to die, He will bring new resurrection. On the next inhale, stand it up. This time, bring your right knee with you. Breathe. Good. We're going to bend the left, sit back, cross the right over. Just like we're sitting in a chair, crossing our legs. Good. Inhale, bring the right knee back up. On the exhale, shift it back. Maybe the hands come to the hips. So my left leg is a little weaker than my right. So I have to support myself by taking the lever back from overhead to the hips. Fire through the right heel. Breathe. We're here for 3. I'm going to fall. For 2. For 1. Draw it back in. Bring the right knee with you. We're going to go through that one more time. Right foot comes down beneath the left. All the way through. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge. Flat back. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward, fold. Inhale, sit back, imaginary chair. Draw the belly in, sit the hips back. Hands are high. Breathe. Good. On the next inhale, stand up, press the left, right knee comes in. Bend the left knee, cross the right, sit back. Good. Inhale, take the knee back up. Exhale, shift it back. Again, maybe that left knee's bent really deep in order to support you here. Breathe. Good. Bring the right knee back into the chest. Exhale, right foot goes down. We're moving all the way through that sun salutation. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge, flat back, swan dive all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come down. This time, step back with the left foot. Draw back the right. Your knees can always go down. Elbows squeeze in, so rotate the elbows in. Let them brush your ribs as you lower down all the way to your belly. Flatten those feet. Roll those shoulders back. Push the tops of the feet down into the mat. Make a W in the arms. Lift the heart. Smile. Breathe. Good. Hands frame the ribs, knees stay down. Set the hips back. Find child's pose. And just find a breath here. There would be a space inside of us. That is somber with this moment. That is sober with this moment. That is well aware that Christ has died for everything that you need to lay down and die to. He's already died to it. We get to stand here in this invitation with an assurance, with a hope that the disciples didn't have, with an awareness, with the luxury of wisdom and knowledge and history. So what are we afraid of? Why are we so afraid to die to these things and let something new be resurrected? Let's ask the Lord, help us want what you want for us more than we want what we want for ourselves, Lord. On the next inhale, we're going to reach those fingertips out and away. We're going to flow back through that. We're going to go a little faster. We're going to add a little more on, but you can take your time.
This is your practice. You're not in a competition. You're not in a comparison. You have to listen to your body. If you need rest, take rest here. If you know there's still more distraction in there and you want to get that out, let's move. Inhale, lift the hips up off the heels. Turn the toes under. Find downward facing dog. Looking up between the hands, slowly step the feet forward. Maybe it's one big step, maybe it's a bunch of little steps. However that works out for your body. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, round and peel, one vertebrae at a time, all the way up, palms together, past the head, to the heart. Let us breathe, let us move. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge, flat back, swan dive, all the way down. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sit back, imaginary chair, draw the belly in. Inhale, find length in the spine. On the exhale, stand up, left knee comes with you. Inhale. Exhale, sit back, cross the left leg. Inhale, stand it up. Exhale, shift, find that warrior three. Maybe your hands are on the ground. Maybe you find something to lean on. Maybe you need to hold on to a wall. There's nothing wrong with that. Just fire through that back leg, lengthen through the crown of the head. Maybe if you're just standing here, this is your work today. It's enough. Breathe. Good. On the next inhale, we're going to bend that knee a little deeper. Reach the left toes back and just find a crescent lunge. Hear me. If you need to take the back knee down and flatten the foot, that's perfectly okay. If you want to stay up high, stay up high. It's up to you for what your body needs in this moment. Nothing more, nothing less. Breathe. Hands are high if that's available. Maybe you look up. And maybe if you're on the playlist or maybe if you're hearing it in the background, I'm going to turn it a little tiny bit. But Lord, we trust you're not going to let us down. So even here, in this hard pose that Sarah left us in this hard place that the coronavirus has placed us in, and the difficulties that we face, and the remembering of your death, and the mourning with the disciples, Lord, you are good and you are never going to let us down, so help us lay down what needs to die. On the exhale, hands come down to the ground. Go ahead and blade the outer edge of the back foot. So you sweep that back foot down. Outer edge is bladed. The feet are set up for warrior two, and cartwheel the hands up. So warrior two looks like this. Right knee is bent. The heel of the right foot bisects the arch of the back foot. The back foot looks like the same as the short end of your mat, and the knee is bent. You should be able to look down and see your big toe on the inside of that knee. If you can't, open the knee up. Extend the arms out and push the arms down like you're pushing water down. Gaze out over your right fingertips. Breathe. Good. Inhale, straighten that front leg. We're going to not lock the knee, but begin to reach the fingertips, hinging at the hips. The fingertips are going to reach forward and then let the right hand hang. Left hand can come to the hip. Maybe it goes up to the sky. When the night is holding on to you, God is holding on to you. Death is messy, it's dark, it's not easy. That's why we don't go towards it. He says, come. Come today and lay down what needs to die with me. On the next inhale, bend that right knee. Come in, warrior two. Good. We're going to straighten the leg and turn both toes to face the front side of your body. Turn the toes in slightly, the heels are wider, hands are on the hips, and just take a hinge forward. Okay, the knees can be soft here. If you need to bring those feet in a little more, bring them in a little bit more. But I want you to try to hang out here, find this stretch. Good. Inhale, lengthen the spine, hands beneath the shoulders, heel toe those feet in, and then try to sit the hips back for a yogi squat. So hear me, your heels may have to be off the ground because the flexibility is not there. That's okay. Don't sink in if you're really flexible and just hang out here. Try to lift a little bit up off of the ground
Try to breathe. Engage the core. Maybe the hands come to the heart. Maybe they rest on the thighs. Breathe for 3, for 2, for 1. Arms come down. Hips go up. Straighten the legs. We're just going to walk it forward. Both feet face the front part of your mat. And just stretch. That right knee can have a slight bend in it. Good. Bending the right knee. Slowly step forward with the left. Hang here for just a second. Good. Inhale, come halfway. Hearts open, back squat. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Slowly round and peel one vertebrae at a time, all the way up. Hands go up, gaze goes up. Take that breath. Good. Take a moment here. Again, come back to your intention. But the truth of the matter is, what Christ did this day will evade us fully. And what I mean by that is we can try to wrap our minds around it. We can try to imagine it. Even in our faith, we can try to believe it. But to viscerally experience it is just a grace of God if He allows you. So that's what we want. Lord, as we die to the things that we need to die to, would you allow us to experience the pain, the sadness, the disappointment, the confusion, the uncertainty. May we not brush past those, getting to the resurrection, Lord, but may we take the walk like the disciples did. May we talk it out with our friends. May we rest on the day of rest. May we allow you to be the God who resurrects in your timing, in your way. That if we lay something down to die today, that we're not demanding that in 3 days it rises again, but we're trusting that you are a God of resurrection who knows exactly the time that it needs to come back as a new way, a new path, a new life, Lord. Let's flow through the other side. Here we go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hinge, flat back, swan dive, down. Inhale, come halfway. Exhale, forward. Inhale, sit back, imaginary chair. Hands go up, belly draws in, hips go back. Good. When we stand up, we're going to bring the right knee with us. Good. On the exhale, bend the left, cross the right over, sit it back. Inhale, back up. On the exhale, hinge. Find that warrior 3. Again, right here is enough, guys. Just try to lift the toes off the floor. This is plenty. I promise it's still going to work. If you're here, you're here. Breathe for 3, for 2, for 1. Slowly bend the left knee. Reach the right toes back. This is our transition. Hands go high. Draw the belly in. A nice crescent lunge. Just breathing. Maybe the back knee is down on the floor. Maybe it's not. Hug the inner thighs. For 3, for 2, for 1. The hands can come down. Go ahead and blade the outer edge of the right foot this time. Feet are in that warrior 2, and we're going to curl the hands up. So again, warrior 2, left foot. The heel bisects the arch of the right. The right foot is bladed and lines up with the short side of your mat. The left knee is bent. You should be able to see your big toe on the inside of that foot. Extend the arms out. Push the water down. Gaze out over the left fingertips. Breathe. Hold it here. You see, when Jesus overcame death, when death was defeated, it spoke something deep into every soul that would know his name, that we're never going to get stuck in the death. He's overcome the death. So may we not be afraid to die to the things he's calling us to die to right now. Good. On that next inhale, go ahead and straighten that front leg. Yeah. Reach those left fingertips forward. Let the left hand hang, right hand lifts high to the sky. Breathe. firing through the feet. Root down, soften the knees, and rotate the hips open. Reach up, breathe for 3, for 2, for 1. Good, go ahead and bend the left knee. Find warrior 2 once more. And then we straighten the left leg, turn the toes to face the front of the body, just like we did on the other side. We're gonna take that forward fold. The legs are just wide. Toes kind of point in a little bit. The heels kind of go wider. And you can just let yourself hang here. Maybe that's not possible. Maybe you grab your ankles here. Maybe your hands stay on your hips here and the knees are soft. Just breathe. Good, on the next inhale, lengthen the spine. Heel toe the feet in, just a little bit. Toes point out, heels are in. Set the hips back and find that yogi squat. Again, you're lifting a little bit. Don't sink all the way down. Breathe. For 3, maybe hands come to the heart. For 2. For 1, hands go down. Lift the hips, straighten the legs, let yourself hang. Good, walk the hands left, pivot the feet to face the front side of your body. And just take the stretch here. Draw the belly in. Maybe that left knee has to bend a little bit to get this stretch. Maybe you need to take your hands up to your hips to get this stretch. Listen to what your body needs. Good. Slowly bend the left knee. Hands come down to the ground. Engage the core. Step the right foot forward. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to go through that vinyasa. Hands are on the ground. Step back. Find plank. Knees can always lower. Hug the elbows in. Lower all the way down or just go to chaturanga halfway. And you can move through baby cobra, cobra, or up dog. Your body, your practice. Good. Keep the knees down. Set the hips back. Find child's pose. Take a breath. So we've worked through the body, worked through all the places that maybe need to work out. And then you can just pause here and try to notice your breath. Maybe draw a deeper breath in and a longer breath out. But truly, you would invite the message of Good Friday. And that you would let the Lord speak to you. Directly to you. Specifically to you. Maybe you hear him say your name, and he says, "Beloved, I have suffered for you." And maybe you say it back to yourself, "Jesus suffered for me." And he believes that I'm worth it. And he believed back then that I was worth it, and he still believes that I am worth it. And so in light of this news, in light of the love that Christ has for us, would we stand and would we say, "Here are the things, Father, here they are. And Lord, if I can't see the things that I need to die to, would you help me to see the things I need to die to, that I need to lay down in the dirt, that I need to lay down and let die, so that the new can be resurrected in my life, in my story." We all need a good dose of this humility. Of this moment when Jesus had a choice. He could have done something totally different, but he laid his life down. He chose to do that. It wasn't taken from him, it was given. When he's standing in that garden and they're taking him in, he blows these men over with 3 words. "I am he." They fall down, and somewhere in them they still think they're overcoming him. They're taking him. They're winning. But you see, Jesus knew that he had to die. He knew he had to go through this process, and he has invited us to do the same. And fortunately, ours will never ever be as vicious or as painful as his was. But at least to that degree, we can rest knowing he knows our suffering. He knows our pain better than we know it. And it is safe today to stand at the tomb, to lay down what needs to die, to mourn it, to grieve it. Just be with him. On my next inhale, go ahead and reach those fingertips out and away. Sorry, it can get pause me. Reach the fingertips out and away. Begin to lift the hips up off of the heels. Bring the knees together. Sweep both feet out to one side. Set the hips back and just take those legs right out in front of you. Good. Dig the heels into the ground and point and flex your toes just for a moment. Good. Inhale, reach the hands up. On the exhale, hinge forward. Good. Inhale, round and peel one vertebrae at a time up. Bend those knees. We're going to roll back down onto our spine. Just back where we started. Roll all the way down. Knees come into the chest, arms wrap around, gently rock from side to side. Good. We're just going to move through a short series of stretches, and then we're going to spend some time just worshiping, just breathing. So on the next inhale, once more, send those feet to the sky. Again, if this is too difficult for you to hold, then move up towards the wall and put your feet on the wall. Soften the knees, lengthen the heels, press the low back into the ground. This should feel a little bit quicker just because we've been working in the legs. The core should be firing, active. We're just going to be here for 30 seconds. So try to relax. Try to breathe. Try to find the grace in the work and in the suffering and the pain and in the moment. About 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and bring those knees in. Arms wrap around. Good, just one last stretch and twist. Go ahead and take the feet down to the floor. You're going to cross the left ankle over the right thigh. So right on the upper part of the thigh. Flex the left foot. Let the left knee press away from you. If this feels intense enough for you, then stay here. If you want a little more, go ahead and pick the right foot up off the ground. Flex the right foot. Your hands can reach through and grab behind the right thigh or over the right shin, whatever feels good. But you're pressing the left knee away. You're keeping both feet flexed to protect those ankles. I'm just going to breathe into this stretch. Good. Slowly releasing. Arms are going to come out into a nice cactus shape. Go ahead and take the right foot down to the ground. And let the left foot lead, but you're going to let the left foot fall over to the right side. Left knee presses away from you. Maybe your gaze goes out over the left shoulder. Just feeling a nice stretch here. Good. Good. Come back through the center. We're going to switch and get the other side. So release that left, bend the right, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Again, flex the right foot, press the right knee away from you. If this is enough, then stay there. If you want a little more, maybe the left foot comes up off of the ground. Flex both feet, push the right knee away, and you can reach through and grab the thigh on the left side, or you can grab the shin on the left side, whatever feels the best. And we're just going to be here for a couple of breaths, so let it go. Good, nice and gentle. Release, take the left foot back down to the ground, arms come out in the cactus. Lead with the right foot, let the right foot fall to the left side. Gaze out over the right shoulder, press the right knee away from the torso. Keep breathing. Let the stretch move through. Good. Slowly come through the center, knees hug in, and then I want you to release everything down into that final relaxation. Relax the shoulders beneath you. Take the hands out to the side, the palms face the sky. Breathing. Just letting yourself stay here for a moment. Entering into prayer. Entering into worship. Today, as we lay here and as we pray, is that it doesn't get lost on us. The death and the suffering and the sacrifice of Christ. That something deep inside of us knows and can relate to the pain. Not know it exactly because He did so much more than we are capable of in our human flesh. But something in us can weep at the tomb of Christ today, and yet desire to die with Him, to let the things that are taking our lives down the unhealthy paths, that are taking and stealing the beauty and the fullness and the abundance